Hey guys, so you'll notice these two handsome gentlemen, Hugh Laurie, Stephen Fry, or Fry and Laurie, uh, huge back in the day. They had their own little show and everything for what was it, 1987 to 95, 94, something like that. They also did Jeeves and Wooster, which is basically a series of stories that were adapted to the big screen, or rather the TV screen, starring our favorite Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry. British comedy, of course, which I love British comedy. You think of stuff like that. You think of just Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry when they're doing their bits. You have Monty Python. So much amazing comedy has come from you know good old across the pond. Um, but the stories, and this is happening all over. Jeeves and Wooster stories censored to avoid offending modern audiences. PJ Wodehouse classics, the latest to be rewritten, as Penguin also includes trigger warning that texts use outdated language. So if you're so weak-thinned and such a just weak-willed pansy that a word offends you and triggers you, just take that book, throw it out. And I've said this before, just go sit in a corner, turn the lights off, get rid of your TV, get rid of your computer, don't go outside because you are clearly not mentally capable of dealing with real life. You are a fucking wuss. And people say like this is why we should bring back bullying. Nothing major, but you make fun of them. Make them like you're getting offended by a word. And it's like humans. That's one reason why we're not able to see real movies nowadays. Why we have no real ideas. Why it's just all bland, soulless remakes. Humans are no longer allowed to push the limits of our brains. The brain, more powerful than a supercomputer, we're not allowed to the full extent. When we're doing comedy, we have to watch what we say because, we don't want to offend a certain group of people. You look at Dave Chappelle, the biggest example right now. He'll sit there, he can make fun of white people, he'll make fun of black people, which he's black. He'll make fun of Republicans, Democrats, Muslims. He makes fun of them all. But the minute he starts making fun of a certain group of people, yeah, we all know which ones because they're the ones being vocal. As soon as he starts making fun of them, suddenly they want him canceled. They want him out. Suddenly he's not funny anymore. But good on him because he keeps going with it. He's like, I don't care. They can hate me. You know, and I find him hilarious. Even, I love Trump. Like the guy, he's fucking hilarious. You know? If Dave Chappelle tells a Trump joke, I'm not gonna be sitting there like, oh, I'm never watching Dave Chappelle again. Or if he makes fun of white people or fat, when he does it, he's not doing it to be hateful. It's all in good fun because you want to laugh. You should be able to sit there and him say something about someone and be like, you know what, that is true. And it's funny. Uh, when he talks to about people on the left, about how how quickly they jump into the cancel mob and how they constantly come after him and he's sitting there bashing them. Most people, normal people who are on the left, should be able to laugh at that because they were like, well, I'm not part of that group, but I can laugh at my own side because it's true. Uh, but a lot of comics now, comedians, movies, when it comes to people in general, they're not allowed to flex their brain's capacity. They're not afraid to delve into how topics or something that they want to because they're afraid of offending. Think of like horror movies. Why do people go see horror movies? You know, scary movies. What to be scared. But even scary movies these days are just safe. I mean, all these movies that are coming out, they usually end up on Netflix. I'm watching them, and I can pretty much predict what's going to happen by the end. You know, everything that's going to happen. I'm like, okay, they're going to die. They're going to die. They're going to be the ones to kill, and this is going to be the end. Not once have I seen a movie. It's been quite some time. You know, sitting in my room with the glow of the screen or the TV or whatever. It's been a long time since I've seen something to make me jump, or not jump, but you know, or say shit. It's been a long time because it's like people are afraid to push the boundaries because they don't want to offend. They don't want to be, oh, we can't scare people because there might be kids in the audience. Can't be too scary. Um, and it's not, and with these the stories, it's not just these. Roald Dahl, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, stuff like that. His books are being rewritten. James Bond books edited to avoid offending modern audiences. And you always hear that same word, modern. And when we say modern, we're meaning the people nowadays who are little weak pansies who are just so thin-skinned that words offend them. When you hear modern, when you hear TV producers or say, it's being made for a modern audience, that's what they're being made for. That's what it's being made for. These people who find everything offensive, and of course they'll have jokes about white people and other stuff, because those people who find everything offensive all think a certain way. So if you make fun of, I don't know, Orange Man bad, or white people, or Christians, or whatever, oh, then they'll find it funny. But everything else is off limits. You can't make fun of people of color. You can't make fun of minorities. You can't make fun of the LGBTQ plus community. You can only make fun of things that they deem appropriately able to be made fun of. You can't do that with comedy. You can't do that with ideas. If it's one thing's offensive, it's all offensive. If one thing's allowed, it all has to be allowed. You can't pick and choose what's offensive, and especially in comedy. And in books, that's even worse. That's even worse. Entire works of human literature are being changed because people are offended by words. It's like, seriously, show me on the doll where the book hurts you. Like, this is where we're at. People are rewriting history in more ways than one. I mean, look at all the crap that's coming out, like with live, dramas and stuff based on real humans, like Anne Boleyn, Queen Charlotte, and they're just like race swapping people. The queens are now black, even though that was never the case. So they're trying to pander to certain groups. They're trying, and it's always the same group. The same ones complaining that this is offensive are the ones that, like, oh, we want diversity and all that. But rewriting books, modern audiences, it's always the same. It's always the same freaking people. And when you hear modern, you can pretty much in your head imagine exactly the kinds of people. The ones who are out there, the freaking Kool-Aid hair, the protesting, the them. The ones who want everything handed. Also, it's usually the same people are the ones who are also eating laundry detergent for internet clout. So, maybe if they laid off the freaking laundry detergent, maybe they'd have a easier time accepting jokes for what they are. Jokes. Or, when you have a TV show or a movie and it has a trigger warning, really? And it's not like a, your discretion is advised. No, these are actual trigger warnings, because some people get so that they have to be told that, oh, hey, if this is triggering for you because it has some bad language in it that's outdated, You know, there's some shows where there's just some more adult themes, uh, you know, and it has a little disclaimer. You know, this content shows graphic, whatever, blah blah blah. Viewer discretion is advised, and that's cool. But now that's actual like trigger warnings. Is seeing those things and you're like, okay, that's making me a little uncomfortable. That's one thing. But these people have full on mental breakdowns over words. This is how weak we are, and especially in America. And America is wondering why other countries are laughing at us and aren't taking us seriously. It's because of these weak-willed little fucking pussies who are offended over words, who are trying to cancel comedians for telling jokes. I read a P.G. Wodehouse book just the other night. It was goofy, just marvelous. Yeah. Just like 1984, they're starting to rewrite the past so they can shape the present and control the future. I like that show. I have it somewhere. I guess West Highland Terriers are too white. Just wait until they read P. Smith Journalist. They'll spontaneously combust. Modern readers are the offense. Modern readers. Jeeves and Wooster isn't offensive. Burning books coming right up. Is that House? Yeah, it is House. It's Hugh Laurie. I identify as offended. Censorship denies me the full offended experience. Let's offend them all the more. Great fun. Wokeism is a scourge. Amended literature is burned literature. Yeah, it's... The inference is that modern readers are wimps. Modern people read. And I can't wait to see Ryan Gosling as Barack Obama, or, you know, is that Mark Wahlberg as Muhammad Ali? Which one was this? Oh, Steve McQueen. Yeah, Steve McQueen. 12 Years a Slave. Christian Bale as Obama. I'm offended by people who are offended by people who are offended by offending literature. Their brain will explode when they read Huckleberry Finn. Uh-huh. Actually, I think that's already had a trigger warning on it. Trigger warning, white people. What's this now? George Orwell. Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. And the process is continuing day by day, minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. George Orwell, 1984. We read 1984 in was it high school? And I think pretty much everyone has. Let people live, for fuck's sake. It's our choice or bloody lives. Stop this shit. When do we start getting offended at all this censorship and doing something? Yeah. What will happen is that the world will be getting more stupid, and that means a lot more dangerous. Being a lot more dangerous because stupid people see violence as primary problem-solving means. Good night, civilized world. Yeah. You know, it's like, again, we're not allowed to flex the full capacity of our imaginations and everything anymore because everyone's afraid of, you know, offending someone. Again, if one thing's offensive, it's all offensive. So just, in that case, just stop making TV shows, stop making video games, stop making comic books, stop making movies, because it's all offensive. There's always going to be something in there that's offensive, whether it be the casting, the writing, the scenarios. There's always going to be something that offends people. So in that case, just cancel everything. Just let's just have one big bland world where nothing interesting happens, where we're not allowed to use our imagination, we're not allowed to flex the creativity of the human mind because people are afraid of being offended or offending others. And let's just all fucking sit in our houses all goddamn day doing absolutely nothing. You know, we can't work because, oh God, some places we work might be offensive to others. So let's just all stay in our houses and let's just let our society collapse around us. You know, let's just do that because people are fucking pussies. And the sooner normal people realize this, the better. We can't have a strong society with these weak-willed little fucking pansies running around. They need to be shown that, yeah, it's okay to be funny. It's okay to make fun of others. It's okay to have offensive words in something. These people have full-on breakdowns. It's not like a disclaimer in a TV show or a movie where it says viewer discretion advised. These are trigger warnings because these people will have full-on meltdowns, crying because of a word. These are the people who cry when people use the wrong pronouns. So those are the kinds of people we're dealing with. These people are, they say that, oh, this kind of progress is good. No, this is going to lead to the collapse of society because we're going to have a bunch of small-minded, weak-willed, thin-skinned wusses running around controlling everything. Do you know how fast we'll be taken over by other countries? You can see it in the military already. Even the military has become pussified. And kudos to the people in the military standing up to the pussification of it. Because if anything shouldn't be pussified, it's the military. We need the military to prevent other countries from taking over. But when they do all this sensitivity training now, we don't want soldiers to be sensitive. We want them to be fucking killing machines that when they go out there, they get the fucking job done. So if our military falls and America falls, and then it's going to be a bad day for everyone. But again, if let's just stop society in general. Let's just stay in our houses, let them collapse. Let's not do anything because we don't want to offend anyone. So books rewritten, stories being retold, songs and movies being changed, all to not offend the modern audience or being made for the modern audience. So pretty much the ones who have mental breakdowns about being misgendered, the ones who have mental breakdowns because, Dave Chappelle told a joke about trans people. Oh, well, he made fun of mentally challenged people, and that's okay, but he made fun of trans people. I think Roald Dahl stuff like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory changing words and phrases. So, like, Oompa Loompas are not little men anymore. Now they're little people, despite the fact that they all looked like dudes. Did you just misgender that Oompa Loompa? But this is where we are in society. Things are being rewritten. You have British TV changing the color of queens now, who historically, like Anne Boleyn, Queen Charlotte, they were white, and they're being portrayed now by black women. Just like they were shown in history. So everything's being rewritten. It's pathetic. Everyone is too offended now. I mean, you can tell me a joke about anything. I call myself fat and ugly all the time, so seriously, body image jokes, I don't give a fuck about. You make fun of Orange Man bad, you can make fun of anything I believe in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's a joke. As long as it's like something in just good faith where you're just trying to make the person laugh, that's fine. Once it gets actually malicious, that's like with Dave Chappelle. Once it gets malicious, then it's the problem because it's no longer comedy. They're just personal attacks. Same thing with movies. When you have things like Cannibal Holocaust with animal cruelty in it just for the sake of shocking people, that's not cool. It's not cool. So there is a thin line. As long as it's in good faith and it's just to entertain, you should not be afraid to push boundaries. You shouldn't. And when you're going back and rewriting books and everything, you're just stifling growth. You're stifling human progress, and you're regressing as a race. You're not progressing, because if we were to be progressing, our minds should be even more expanded and even more open. But here we are, rewriting books because they offend people, because people get so triggered over words that they have full-on mental breakdowns, and they're sitting in their little cry closet like a little wuss, having a full-on breakdown and crying. Like, I think someone once said that the further, the further we get in evolution, the dumber we become. Well, they were right. They were right. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Later. I had something in my throat. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.